at this stage, the process is to enter a BISFIT sanctioned event where there is classification. All our BISFIT sanctioned events has got the possibility to be classified at that event. And at this stage, that is in the rules, and in the classification rules, actually, that all our BISFIT sanctioned event will have a classification panel where athletes will be classified before competition. No, but we do take into consideration, remember, if you classify anything that the athlete wear, like a corset or a brace or a splint, anything that they need to be able to play boccia, they have to come with all of that to classification. And it's really important that you bring that, because if we see something when they're in competition, we're definitely going to call you in and find out why. Of course, it does not mean you're a BC1 player. It means that you've got a structural defect that needs to be helped to correct it. Sometimes the courses can give you more stability, but it does not mean that you're a BC1 if you wear a corset. We've got in the other classes also people with scoliosis, for example, that has got corsets on. So no, it does not say that if you wear a corset, you're going to be a BC1. In each class, we have a lot of range in that class, and that is just part of the sport. You're going to have your really good BC1, and you're going to have your really not bad, but more impaired BC1, or that is not able to overcome his impairment as much as your good BC1, for example. But that does not mean that you are not a BC1. And we have to make very sure with our coaching and we training that you train the athlete to his best potential. All of us cannot be Paralympic athletes, and that's the same with the disabled. Just because you're disabled does not mean you're going to be a Paralympic athlete. I've got long legs, but I can't run fast. Doesn't make me a Paralympic athlete just because I've got long legs. I can't run fast. So the same with boccia. You've got the ability to overcome certain impairments a bit better than someone else through training and through coaching. You can really become a good player. And it's not to say that if you've got more impairment, you're not going to be the Paralympic athletes, because we've got more than enough example of those. In our BC3 class, yes. You might see that there is, and I don't quite agree with the top 20 as for example, non-CP in BC3. We have athletes that is there with non-CPs. The training is easier maybe than your athlete with severe involuntary movement. But as coaches, you have to remember your involuntary movements and all that can also be controlled, and you have to do really good coaching. Your CP athlete will take a bit longer, but they will go on for a very long time being a BC3 athlete. Whereas our our non-CPs, for example, your muscular dystrophy they deteriorate much quicker, where your CP won't. So you can't just say that some people is in a class, and yes, there is a very wide range, but we have to keep that in mind, that that is part of the sport. And that's where you as coaches come in to really develop each athlete according to his best potential. I would like to thank everybody for joining us. If there is any more questions, please send an email, a WhatsApp. We're available to answer any questions and to help you as coaches to understand the boccia athletes better. Thank you very much, Dawn, for your presentation too in the beginning, and for everybody joining.